Srimad Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnavavrinda ki jai, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai, Prem se Gaur Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki jai, Sri Radha Krishna Gaur Gopinath Sam Kund Radha Kund Giridhar ki jai, Vrindavan Dham ki jai, Navadvip Dham ki jai, Swami Bhaktivinoda ki jai, Ganga Mai ki jai, Jamuna Mai ki jai, Tulasi Devi ki jai, Bhakti Devi ki jai, Swami Bhaktivinoda ki jai. All glories to the assembled Lord. All glories to the assembled Lord. Thank you very much.
Bhayo Vyadhaya Klesha Daiva Bhutatma Hetava Ajata Shatro Abhavan Jantunam Ragni Karhichit Nadhayo Vyadhaya Klesha Daiva Bhutatma Hetava Ajata Shatro Chatra Vabhavan Jantunam Ragni Karhichit
What meaning?
No, never. Adhayaha, anxieties. Vyadhayaha, diseases. Kleshaha, trouble due to excessive heat and cold. Daiva Bhutatma, all due to the body, supernatural power, and other living beings. Hetavaha, due to the cause of. Ajata Shatro, unto one who has no enemy. Abhavan, happened. Jantunam, of the living beings. Ragni, unto the king. Karhichit, at any time. Translation: due to the king's having no enemy, the living beings were not at any time disturbed by mental agonies, diseases, or excessive heat or cold.
So, in the previous verse, it has been described that nature was favorable. The river, the hills, the mountains, forest, vegetable, creepers, these are our natural surroundings. Animals, everyone was complete. It is a cooperation. So many living entities, according to karma, we have got different bodies. Some has got the human form of body, some has got the body of an animal, some has got the body of a tree, creeper, sometimes hills, mountains also. Everyone, their business is cooperation. We can study from our own body. There are different parts of the body, but it is a business of cooperation. Hand, legs, eyes, ears, nose, they are all cooperating for the upkeep of the body. Similarly, all living entities may be in different types of bodies. They are meant for cooperating in the matter of serving the Supreme Lord. Central point. Just see the... So, if the government or the chief of the executive power, the king, is just to the point, dharmena, as it was said, abiding by the religious principles ruling over the country, everything, even natural elements, they become cooperative. They must become cooperative. What is nature? Nature is also another energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, the nature is also working under the direction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Māyādhakṣena prakritis shriyate sacharacharam hetunānena kaunteya jagadvi parivartate. So Maharaj Yudhishthir's time, the cooperation was so complete that everyone was free from anxiety, disease, calamities, natural disturbance. In this material nature or material world, we have got three kinds of sufferings. Tritābjantra. Sri Sanatana Goswami inquired, why these three kinds of miseries inflict pains upon me? Kiyami kano more jape tapotroy. Tapotroy. Tapo means painful condition. Tap. Just like if you touch fire, it creates a painful condition by burning the part. Similarly, this world is also a blazing fire, samsara davanala. The rascals, they do not know. They are always out of the three kinds of miserable condition. Everyone is in somewhere other under these conditions. These conditions means it is these klesha, painful conditions. They are created by three causes. What are those causes? Dvaiva bhutatma hetava. Dvaiva means created by the demigods. Dvaiva, devata. Just like this rain department, water department, is under the control of Indra. So, Indra can supply water just to your requirement, or sometimes he does not supply, or sometimes he supplies over requirement, otivrishti, anavrishti. Anavrishti means no rain, and otivrishti means excessive. So we don't want excessive or less. We want just proper. So this is under the control of the devata. You cannot say, you may be very great scientist, you cannot say that it is under my control. When there is no rainfall, you cannot say, all right, we are scientists, we are creating rain. You can theoretically say, now we are making progress in future. All these rascals say in future. And we also believe that in future, these rascals will give us all happiness. Not now. Now you die. Just like a clever lawyer, his client was condemned to death, to be hanged. I have seen it in Allahabad High Court. And he is patting him, don't worry, I shall get you released by appeal. Now you can go to be hanged, and I shall get you released. Like that. I have seen it. One big European barrister, in those days European barristers were very valuable, Mr. Alston. I had also one case in the High Court. So one medical practitioner, he killed his servant in the operation room very mercilessly. The servant was implicated with his wife. To revenge, he called the servant in the operation room. The servant did not know that he was to be killed, and immediately he was captured, chloroformed, and mercilessly killed with knife. And then, packed up in a box, he was taking the corpse in a different place to throw away. In the meantime, a police officer was passing. He saw the drops of blood is coming out of the box. He immediately arrested. So this case was, then the doctor was condemned to death. So Mr. Alston was appointed his lawyer. So he was solacing, don't worry, I shall get you released by appeal. So our so-called scientists, they also say like that, in future we shall do this, in future. Now you go to hell, that's all. But in future they cannot do anything. Daividjisa gunamayi mama maya durata. Nature's law is so strong. These so-called childish scientists, they cannot give you any relief. That is not possible. That is not possible. It is simply false promise. And those who are fools and rascals, they believe that in future, what they have done in the past, they cannot do anything. Therefore, it is said, there are three kinds of miserable conditions. Daiva, Bhuta, Atma. Daiva means Adhidaivik, and Bhuta means Adhibhautik, and Atma means Adhyatmik. Three kinds of miseries. Adhyatmik, pertaining to your body and mind. Body, we have got experience, so many bodily troubles, anxieties. If not body, mental, these are called adhyatmik. Then, adhibhauti. I am peaceful, give me some trouble. I am peacefully sitting here, but these flies are giving me trouble, unnecessarily. I have to take precaution. So there are flies, mosquitoes, at night so many other animals they come. Besides that, my brother, my friend, they are also prepared to give me trouble. somewhere other living entities causing some painful condition. This is called adhyatmik, adhibhautik, and adhidoivik. Doivik, painful condition created by the demigods. Just like there is hurricane, all of a sudden. So many trees falls down, sometimes cottages devastated, overflood, excessive rain, overflood, famine, pestilence. You have no control. You cannot control. You can simply say in future, that's all. But there is no control. So we are always in this painful condition, that is material life. But those who have got eyes, sense, they can see. Just like Sanatana Goswami, he could see. He was Prime Minister, well situated materially, learned scholar, very intelligent. Otherwise, how they could become Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's personal associates, very qualified. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when Sanatana Goswami consulted Jagadananda that I want to do this, what is your advice? Sanatana Goswami became infected with itches all over the body. And it was what is called bleeding itches. Itches are two kinds, dry and sometimes oozing water. What is called?
Pus.
Not pus. Weeping, yes. The technical name is weeping, dry and weeping. So it was weeping itches. And whenever he would go to see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, immediately Chaitanya Mahaprabhu embraced him. And the weeping secretion will touch the body of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he thought that I am suffering from this disease, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu embracing me, I shall kill myself, I shall commit suicide. So he consulted, not for suicide, but leaving the place. So when he was advised, yes, you can leave the place. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu he heard this news that Jagadananda has advised Sanatana Goswami to leave the place. He became very angry. That you have the audacity to advise Sanatana Goswami, nonsense. You are so respectful to Sanatana Goswami. The same Sanatana Goswami approached to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asking him the question, what I am, why I am put into this threefold miserable condition of life. So this is our position. We may be very great man in the estimation of our friends and countrymen, but everyone is subjected to the miserable condition of life. They cannot make any solution. That is not possible. They have made a solution, big learned scholars, just that Mr. Kotovsky said, Swamiji, after death there is no life. Everything is finished. Unless they think like that, their life becomes more horrible, full of anxieties. If they think of that there is another life, and there is punishment and reward according to our karma, then their life is very horrible. So, just like the animals, poor animals, sometimes facing enemy, close the eyes as if there is no enemy. So they do like that. Close the eyes. Children, when there is danger, they close the eyes. They have no other means to escape. So these people, they close the eyes. There is no life after death. Otherwise, they cannot accommodate. But there is life after death. Tatha dehantaram prapti. Tatha dehantaram prapti. There is life after death, simply change of body. Now there are so many bodies, 8,400,000 of bodies. I can become next life a fly, according to my karma. Or I can become next life Brahma, that is also according to karma. But there are varieties of life. So the so-called scientists, they do not know what is life after death, how it happens, how it is going on. This is a great science. That you can understand from the Vedic literature, not from your so-called scientific research. That is not possible. So, how these people during the time of Maharaj Yudhishthira were free from all kinds of anxieties and diseases. Nadhayo, badhayo, klesha. If you are in anxiety, then that will create a disease. This psychological condition, physiological condition is working in so subtle way. Little shocking, little disturbance we get. Another disturbance. The Ayurvedic medicine, they treat patient on this principle. How things are disturbed, they have got their calculation. Kapha, Pitta, Vayu, Tridhatu. This body is a composition of these three dhatu. Jashnatu buddhi kunope tridhatu ke. Kunope, this is a bag created by the interaction of the three elements, namely kapha, pitta, vayu. Bile, mucus and air. This is Kaviraj treatment. They can understand the position of these three elements by feeling the pulse. This is Ayurvedic science. If one Kaviraj can learn to feel the pulse, he can say everything. He can say when this man will die, today or tomorrow, or accurately will say. The pulse beating is so scientifically described in Ayurvedic science. As soon as he fixes up the pulse beating, immediately the formulas are there. Such kind of pulse beating will create such and such symptoms. So, you feel the pulse and inquire the patient, are you feeling like this? If he says yes, then it is confirmed. The disease is confirmed. Then the medicine is there. Very simple thing. Now, in the allopathic treatment, first of all you have to sacrifice 1 chatak of blood immediately. As soon as you go to the medical man in your country, he'll take so much blood. First of all you have to give your blood, then fees, then you have to purchase nonsense medicine. So here are also there are nonsense Kavirajas also. So unless one is expert in feeling the pulse, he is not Kaviraj. That is the criterion.
It will take 2 years time.
Just say.
Pulse feeling takes 2 years time.
2 years time. So this is the this body is made of 3 dhatu, and misadjustment of these 3 things if the mucus is increased, the other two decrease. In this way, disturbance is created, and that is the cause of disease. Adhayo, badhayo. So if people remain completely in hygienic principle, as they are prescribed in the Shastras, just like rise early in the morning, take bath, evacuate, and chant Hare Krishna mantra. If you follow the rules and regulations, then there will be no anxiety, no disease. People become crazy when he is full of anxieties or disease. If he is happy in every respect, then he does not become crazy. He does not become enemy. If everyone is satisfied, then where is the chance of becoming your enemy or my enemy? Everyone is satisfied. So, in Maharaj Yudhishthir's time, the government was responsible also to keep people peaceful without any anxiety. That is government. Without any anxiety. And now the government means full of anxieties. You do not know how to sleep peacefully at night. You have to keep watchmen. Just see enemies are coming or not. With torchlight. You see? This is our position. Full of anxieties. Even we cannot sleep at night peacefully. This is government. And here you see, compare the government, no anxiety. No anxiety. Just compare. So what is the use of this rascal government? The rascal government must be there because we are rascals. You cannot complain against the government because we select. It is the days of democracy. We elect our representative. So why you should blame the government? You have created the government. You have sent your representative, a rascal, another big rascal. You are a rascal and another big rascal you have voted. So how you can expect good government? You send only big rascals, that's all. So there cannot be. That is stated in the Śrimad Bhāgavatam. That in the Kali Yuga, all the people will be rascals, Sudras. Simply by manipulation, if one gets vote, he captures the governmental power. Sudra. He is a Sudra. He is not a Kshatriya. That's Maharaj Yudhishthira, trained up Kshatriya. He is a rascal, third-class man, fourth-class man. He gets the vote and we give vote. So how we can be happy? How we can be carefree or anxiety-free or disease-free? It is not possible. Therefore, if the people in general, they become Krishna conscious, they become trained up in Krishna consciousness, they understand the value of life, how to live, then they can send good representative, Krishna conscious man. Then the government will be nice. Without becoming harava bhaktasya kuto mahadguna. If people are not Krishna conscious, their so-called qualification has no value. Kuto mahadguna. There cannot be. There cannot be any good qualification of a person who is not Krishna conscious, who is not a devotee. This is our conclusion. We have got some test tubes. We can study man. He may become a very good scholar, very good politician, very big minister, but we test whether he has got any sense of Krishna consciousness. If he is not, immediately I understand that he is a rascal number one. That's all. We have got test tube. How much he is advanced in Krishna consciousness. If he is not, then he is grouped immediately in 4 groups. Duskitina means constantly committing sinful activities. Mudha, rascal. Naradham, lowest of the mankind. Māyāpur, although educated with high degrees, his knowledge has been taken away. Asuri bhavamāsita and demo. Navang duskitana mudha prapadanti naradhama maya aparitagyana asuri bhavamāsita. Immediately classify. Here is a rascal number 1, lowest of the mankind, or always engaged in sinful activities, or whatever education he has got that is useless because his real knowledge, just like Professor Kotowski, such a big professor, he says there is no life after death. He is rascal number 1. What is the meaning of this education? He does not know that the soul is eternal, and therefore Bhagavad Gita teaches first, Deyinasmin jatha dehi kaumarajo na hannate hannamane sarire. First of all, understand this. Soul is eternal. You are eternal. You do not die after the annihilation. This is the first education. And these rascals, they say there is no life after death. So how much educated they are, you can understand. All rascals. And you may open big colleges and institutions providing some rascal professor, rascal student, and beg the whole life and sacrifice everything. It is useless. Samayeva hi kevalam. Simply wasting time. Dharmasyanusthita pungsam vishakshena kathasuja nutpadayet rating jadi samayeva hi kevalam. Samayeva hi kevalam. You can do your duties very nicely. Very good. Dharmasyanusthita. But if you do not develop your, I would say, attachment for Krishna, Vasudevi, Katharuchi, here Krishna Katha is going on. Topics on Krishna is going on. Let me hear it. Just like here, we are talking of Krishna. Nobody is coming. Nobody is coming. Only few selected. So Vasudevi Katharuchi, there is no taste for hearing Krishna Katha. So such kind of education, advancement of civilization, is sramayeva hi kevalam. Simply wasting time. And if you waste your time in such foolish activities, then there will be anxiety, there will be disease, there will be enemies, there will be disturbance, everything, one after another, one after another. Natural disturbance, disturbance by other living creatures, disturbance by your body. So this world will become hell. This is the position. So just compare the present governmental situation and the time. That is, king is supposed to be responsible for the citizens' peaceful life, no anxiety, no disease, adhaya badhaya. That is king. Just like one Brahmin approached Lord Ramchandra, that in the presence of father the son has died, you are responsible. There must be something wrong in your kingdom. His son died, that it is natural that father lives, son lives, father dies. This is natural, death. What is this? The father is living and son is dying. So king was so much responsible. Even their death must be systematic. There should be no anxiety, there should be no disease, there should be no scarcity, no famine, no natural disturbance. This is God. This is government. Just try to understand the ideal government during Maharaj Yudhishthira's time. Not only Maharaj Yudhishthira, all the kings, Rajarsayo, Imagarajarsayo, Vidu, they are all great rishis, although they are Kshatriyas, Brahmana and Kshatriya. They used to guide the general people. The high caste means would guide the people nicely. The Brahmana, by their Vedic knowledge, perfect knowledge, Patan, Patana, Jajan, Jajan, Dana, Pratigraha, by high learning, they were not interested for capturing the government. No, they had no time. But there was consulting body. Even Yudhishthira Maharaj's time, there is consulting body. All the kings, the Brahmanas and the rishis, they would form a consulting body and give advice to the king. My dear king, do like this. And they will abide. Just like head gives the instruction to the arms. Not the arm gives instruction to the head. Head, brain. Mukho bahu rupade bha. So Brahmana means this portion. Head, brain. And Kshatriya means this portion, arm. And Vaishya means this portion, belly. And Shudra means this, leg. So no part is unimportant. Every part is important for upkeep of the body. But comparative study, this part is more important. If my head is cut off, then all other parts may remain, it will not act. Similarly, at the present moment, there is no Brahmana. All Sudras, simply legs. If you keep the legs of the body, what is the value of this body? There must be head. Everything must be there. Everything must be there. The head must be there, arms must be there, the abdomen must be there, the legs must be there. Then it is complete body. Similarly, this scientific division, Chatutpannam Maya system, Gunakarma Vibhagasa, the division of the human society according to quality, the Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. Krishna says, Maya system, this is my creation for upkeep of the social system. So, there is necessity of the Shudras and there is necessity of the Brahmana, there is necessity of the Kshatriya. Everyone is required to function in his particular position. Then the society will be nadhayo vadhayo klesha. No more anxiety and no more disease. Everyone is peaceful, cool-minded, cool brain, then chant Hare Krishna without any disturbance and go back to home, back to God. Thank you very much.
Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Śrimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. We have 7 minutes. I will try to summarize a few themes. But naturally, not everything will be covered. Srila Prabhupada at the beginning is emphasizing the principle of cooperation, especially hinting at the previous verse, how all elements of nature were cooperating with each other. And he was emphasizing that when a king is abiding by religious principles, then naturally there is cooperation between the natural elements. And he explained that by quoting a verse that demonstrates how the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the superintendent of material nature. Would anyone like to share that verse? Yes, please. Perfect. Thank you, Kiran Prabhu. And so, because of that cooperation, in Maharaj Yudhishthira's time, there was no anxiety, there was no disease, calamities, or natural disturbances. Then Srila Prabhupada goes on to describe 3 types of suffering. And he cites an example of Sanatana Goswami, how Sanatana Goswami claimed that I'm suffering. And he posed the question, why am I suffering? And so then Prabhupada goes on to describe that there are 3 causes of suffering, 3 types. And he begins by elaborating on the first cause. Does anyone remember what that is? Yes, thank you, Venugopal Prabhu. Suffering caused by the demigods. And the example he gave was excessive rain or too little rain. We need just the right amount of rain. And such is under the control of Indra. And at this point, Prabhupada is beginning his extensive refutation on common misconceptions of understanding of life. And therefore he begins to refute the so-called scientists. To emphasize this refutation, in this particular class, Srila Prabhupada used the term rascal 22 times. And so he says that if there is too little rain, then what can the scientists do? They cannot manufacture. And so Srila Prabhupada quotes that they claim that in the future we'll be able to give happiness, not now. For now, you just die. And so Srila Prabhupada gives this example of a lawyer and the client. Does anyone recall that example? Yes, Sanket, please share.
I think he was discussing a case where one doctor had attempted to, or no, not attempted, but had succeeded in killing a servant, and then he'd been spotted and convicted and arrested and so on, and then he was going to be hanged for the murder. And then the lawyer told him that, okay, you go and get hanged, but meanwhile I'll appeal and get you out. But obviously it becomes too late.
Yes, thank you for sharing. The servant was implicated with the wife of the medical practitioner, and he called him in the surgery room and mercilessly killed him with the knife and put him in a box, and the box was dripping with blood, and so the police officer happened to walk by and saw that. So the lawyer, Mr. Alston, he was telling his client that, don't worry, I'll get you out. But it's very clear he committed murder, he's not going to get out. And so here Prabhupada is highlighting this principle of a false promise. And so he draws parallels with the scientists, that they also make claims like this. In the future, I'll get you released, but for now you go to hell. So then Prabhupada says that in the future, they can't do anything either. They can't do anything for the moment, in the present, and they can't do anything in the future. And so then Prabhupada goes on to list the other two, he lists all three actually, types of suffering. There's three types of suffering. Does anyone remember? Yes. Yes, thank you. Adidevik, Adibhautik, and Adhyatmik. So, pertaining to the body and mind, pertaining to other living entities, and also caused by the demigod. So in that way, we're always in a painful condition of life. And then Srila Prabhupada goes on to say that only those who have eyes can actually see this. And so we can understand that not everyone actually comprehends that they are suffering, but they are suffering. And so then Srila Prabhupada goes on to give this example of Sanatana Goswami. So Sanatana Goswami approaches Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and there is this interesting exchange between them. And from that exchange, Sanatana Goswami had great feelings of resentment and therefore was convicted to perform a certain type of action. And thereafter, when consulted with another devotee, Jagannananda Pandit told him, "You can leave this place." And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very angry with that. And therefore, Sanatana Goswami was very qualified. And so, even such a qualified person, Sanatana Goswami was very qualified. So anyway, we've run out of time. So thank you all for your kind attention. Would anyone like to share any final points or reflections? Yes, Prayojana.
That getting the lawyer getting off with the thing, but there's also a song by Bob Dylan, and it's called "The Death of Hattie Carroll." And the death of Hattie Carroll, the rich man beat a servant to death with his cane. First he was sentenced to life imprisonment. Then the lawyers, they got that reduced to, first he was sentenced to death. Then he was reduced to life imprisonment. And in the end, the lawyer got him off with 3 months jail. And he says, first take the rag to your eyes. Then he says, now's the time for your tears, because he got him off in the end with 3 weeks. For now is the time for your tears, he says. Very powerful song. So if you get a chance to hear that, Hattie Carroll by Bob Dylan, it was a shocking turn of events that happened in America. He says he beat her with a cane with no reason in mind, and she was humble. Yeah, okay.
So yes, if Krishna is our lawyer, then Klesha Agni Shupada, pure devotional service, will eliminate all miseries. Thank you, Prabhupada Prabhu. Srila Prabhupada ki. Yes.
Very rarely at Ramia, it's a guess. You give a Bhagavad Gita in the street, Ramia, by chance to one of the programs is done. It doesn't seem so appropriate. It would be nice to introduce groups again, if you're concentrating with 35.
Yes, we can discuss outside the class forum as class is now ended. Sure.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram